Hello, Nagoya. Predictions. It's happening. Soul throw.
Hagaki-Yoi!
Roll the salt, get in the ring. Welcome to the Dohyo.
Hello and welcome back to the Dohyo here on MrJWags channel. We are here with our bolder predictions for the upcoming July tournament in Nagoya. But before we start, some bad news. Takayasu will not be joining us for this tournament. His entire stable has gone Kyujo for COVID again, and we hope for a full and speedy recovery to him and his entire stable. And a quick Sumo shout-out to Shohozan, who recently announced his retirement. He topped out, of course, at the Komusubi rank, ended up having a Yusho in his career. 4 special prizes, 5 Kinboshi, none against Hakuho. And for a guy who started his sumo career in 2006, it was amazing he was still up in the Sekitori rank. So it was always great watching you out there. You always look so mean in the ring and so happy outside of it. So, Shohozan, sumo shout-out. Happy trails. And one more exciting piece of news, former Ozeki Asanoyama is back and in effect. And by that I mean he is down at Sadanoumi 22, a little higher than I expected. Of course, Asanoyama was ranked at Ozeki, ended up getting suspended for breaking COVID protocol, was suspended for a whole year, and ended up tumbling down to Sadanoumi. I would expect to see him back up in the Makuuchi division, possibly by Nagoya next year. And now it's time for our recurring segment, Hagaki-Yoi, where I answer questions from you, the people, about myself, about sumo, about what I think about sumo. This one comes from viewer Luis Conrado Parra, and he asks if I could do a dataset, at least of the joy, dividing them up into baby faces and heels. Now, for those of you who don't know what that is sort of a pro wrestling sort of shorthand for babyface being the good guys and the heels being the bad guys. Alright, challenge accepted. Up in the Sanyaku Joy area, I feel like the baby faces are like Mitakeumi. He's just adorable and has all sorts of fun, good energy. I feel like Wakataka Kage has got to be there. He always looks like sort of like just a mini DC superhero. All he needs is like a cape. And Ura, I just get major babyface vibes off of because he's got that baby face and he's adorable. So I could see him fighting adorably for justice. When it comes down to heel, we got a few guys. Number 1 being Terunofuji. He has the most sort of boss vibes, and when I say boss vibes, it's like at the end of a video game level and you face the final boss. That's Terunofuji. He has like that resting like boss stank face, which just is so intimidating. He's got the dark mawashi and he just stares into your soul and just ready at any point to be that villain. And every good boss needs like henchmen, and I feel like Hoshoryu and Shodai line up kind of well as like evil henchmen, but it just depends on like how smart you want your henchmen to appear. I think Hoshoryu just looks like he's got a little more going on than Shodai. And then we can get even more specific, like very specific sort of baby face, like Kevin Bacon in Footloose, like, I know I'm the hero and I'm the good guy, but like, I just want to dance, Dad. And he's like kind of the rebel. Kiribayama. Got that vibe off of him. And in terms of heels, but not like dangerous heels, but in terms of heels like you're in an 80s movie and like in a weird obscure sport, like Irish hurling or something. It's like, you're not going to be good enough to be on our hurling team. And there's this like total like chatty dude who's like the villain, like Billy Zabka in a bunch of 80s movies. That would be Abi. A lot of Billy Zabka vibes off of Abi. So thank you, Luis. I am shouting you out for the amazing question. You will get to pick the flannel on a future episode and you'll receive the fun sumo song of your choice from MrJWags. So please hit me up and let me know where I can send that. You can either hit me up on @MrJWags at Twitter or at Instagram, or you can hit me up here at MrJWagsChannel@gmail.com, and you will get everything you deserve from a contest standpoint. And please, if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments, and you too can be featured on a future Hagaki-Yoi. Well, now let's look into some bold predictions for the upcoming July Basho. First, bold prediction. I think we are going to have a rough tournament in the lower Sanyaku, that is the ranks of Komusubi and Sekiwake. Now, you all seem to love our current crop of Komusubi/Sekiwake. Y'all said on the community tab when I had a poll going that you think that this is where the next Yokozuna is going to come from, and I imagine you're talking about Hoshoryu or Wakataka Kage. Now, There have been reports, unconfirmed, about Hoshoryu's ankle being a little bit messed up. I'm seeing a soft Makekoshi for him. Abi and Daisho, I do not necessarily see this being an awesome tournament for them. Of course, they're very strong pusher-thruster types, and that is never the most consistent type. So I'll be expecting soft Makekoshi for those two and Hoshoryu. Waka Takakage, have a slightly happier prediction for him. I think he's going to get 10 wins. He's not going to be quite in the hunt for the Yusho, but 10 wins is really solid and will continue that Ozeki run. My bolder prediction, all of the Maegashiras 1 and 2, all 4 of them are going to get Kachikoshi. Yes, I'm very excited about the 4 just below the Sanyaku. Kiribayama, Takanosho, Kotonowaka, and Ichinojo. And yeah, I think they're going to have more collective wins than the lower Sanyaku. Bolder. My second bold prediction, Kotoshoho is going to get 9 wins or better. Yes, I have big hope for Kotoshoho. Back on the Kotoshoho train, he's been a little underwhelming the past 2 tournaments. I think this is the one where it all starts to click for him, and we see the Kotoshoho machine in, motion. Bolder prediction, Tochinoshin also gets a Kachikoshi. Tochinoshin has 2 Kachikoshi in a row, why not make it 3? The middle of the Banzuke right now doesn't have a lot of motion potential. So if he's coming in very strong with 1.5 knees, who am I to say he can't get a winning record? Next bold prediction, Tamawashi will not get a Kinboshi in this tournament. Of course, Tamawashi has gotten 3 Kinboshi in 3 consecutive tournaments, all against Terunofuji. But this tournament, come day 5 or 6-ish, I do not think Tamawashi is going to be beating Terunofuji. But bolder, I do think he is going to get a Kachikoshi. Yeah, I think the Sanyaku is not going to be very strong this tournament from top to bottom, and I think some of the members of the Joy will get winning records, and hopefully bumped back up. I think there's going to be a bit of a logjam ahead of Tamawashi, so I'm not thinking Sanyaku anytime soon, but possibly Maegashira 1 next tournament. I mean, the guy keeps getting older, but he keeps doing very, very well at the very top of the Banzuke. I'm not going to bet against him yet. And now it's time for our recurring segment, 3 Up, 3 Down, where I take 3 Rikishi who I think are going to do well this tournament, and 3 who will do less well this tournament. For my 3 Up, number 1, Ichinojo. Now, a COVID layoff can be a very good thing, or it can be a very bad thing. Very good. The first Takayasu one, not this one, but the last one. He came back very strong, almost ended up winning a Yusho. But then you get ones where it's a bit of a long COVID thing, like Shodai. He has not been quite the same since then. I am hopeful this is going to be a positive, restful COVID layoff, and Ichinojo is going to come back strong, double-digit wins. Second man up, Kiribayama. He's up at Maegashira 1. He's had double-digit wins the past 2 tournaments. I think he can make it 3 in a row. And third up, Hokuto Fuji. He's a little underranked right now at Maegashira 7, and for the past few years, if he's ever been ranked that low, he's bounced back on up. So I would expect a winning record from Hokuto Fuji for this tournament. Now for the 3 down. Ura! Yeah, there are rumors that he is not feeling too well for this tournament. I think that section of the Banzuke is going to be very unforgiving this tournament, and I think people have started to figure out his cartoon sumo. That tells me 6 and 9, and I'm being a little hopeful, and I would love to be wrong about this. Number 2 down, Sadanoumi. Had a very good tournament last tournament. This time, I think he is right on the borderline of, danger. Normally, the Joy stops at around 4, and that's when you can expect above that to face everyone who is better than you. This tournament is going to be a little interesting. First of all, Takayasu at Maegashira 4, gone for the tournament, so he's already going to be wrestling up a little bit there. Also, oddly in this tournament, there are a lot of interstable conflicts, and a few of them are up there at the top. Takanosho Takakeisho, Wakamotoharu, Wakatakakage, can't face each other. And also the Oitakaze, they've got a bunch right in there with Endo and Tobizaru and Daisho. There's a whole lot. I'll just put it in graphic form here for anyone who is colorblind. I apologize. It's going to be real interesting in the lower ranks, especially with those black arrows, the Isegahama guys. Midori Fuji, if he's not doing very well, may get some interesting matchups down in the stretch, because who else is he going to face? He has so many stablemates below him in the bottom of the Banzuke. I don't see Sadanoumi doing well at this rank. And third down, Shodai. Yep. I think the long COVID is going to grab him and drag him down to Ozeki Wake after this tournament. He's been playing the Kataban dance for like 4 tournaments now, and I just think this time he's going to be the odd man out when the music stops. So sorry, Shodai. I hope you can come back strong and maybe get double digits next tournament, but this time, I just don't see it. And now it's time for Which Way We Goin'? This is a segment where we look at several wrestlers where this might be a very crucial basho for them, and we try to figure out, which way they goin'. Number 1, Wakamotoharu. Now, he's a person who is primarily known for his younger brother, who is better than him at sumo, but he made his Makuuchi debut this year. He's just been getting 9 and 6s since then. Slow and steady wins the race, or does it? He's 28. He doesn't seem the type to, capture lightning in a bottle. He seems just like a very fundamentally sound Rikishi, but he's also 28, which is a little bit past his peak. How well will slow and steady play at the very, very top of the Banzuke? Number 2, I've sort of combined a few who I have sort of similar questions about. Kitano Waka, Oho, and Hokuseiho. Now, these are guys who are sort of in the lower part of their respective divisions. Oho's up in Makuuchi, the other 2 are down in Juryo. And what I'm looking for is, have they made the adjustment so they can start thriving at this higher level? They're all young guys, 22 or younger, and Hokuseiho really hasn't had a fair shake. He was in Juryo for 2 tournaments, one 0-15, COVID, no chance to fight. Held rank though, then came back, first match back, Kyujo, 0-15, and ended up going back down into Makushita. So he's just back up into Juryo now. Oho bumped up to Makuuchi, didn't do well, bumped back down to Juryo, he's back. Still hasn't gotten the first Kachikoshi up in Makuuchi, hoping that's here, but I haven't seen anything from him that shows he's capable of excelling at Makuuchi right now. And as I mentioned before, with Oho, it could be a matter of him still working his way into that huge body of his and figuring out the best way to go about his brand of sumo. Then there's Kitano Waka. He's 21, had been doing so well, got hurt last tournament, came back from Kyujo, finished strong, stayed in Juryo. Now he's in sort of like the Juryo teens. How fast can he get his game back up to where it was, and hopefully jumping up into Makuuchi? Maybe by the end of the year? And one more. This one is going to be split between Atami Fuji and Kinbozan. Kinbozan's right there at the top of Makushita at Makushita 1. He, of course, has been a bit of a phenom since coming out of university. Atami Fuji, the Isagahama phenom, he's still only 19 and has gotten his first Kachikoshi in Juryo. So the question I'm asking is not if they're going to make Makuuchi. I'm pretty sure both of them will. But when? Now, for any of you who follow fantasybasho.com, they had this great series exploring who the next Yokozuna could be. It's been updated various times over the past couple of years, because years keep going by. The thing I take away from it is the idea that there are some sort of lightning strike Yokozuna, and then there are Yokozuna who grow into the role a little bit later. What we can see right now is, are Atami Fuji and Kinbozan going to be lightning strikes, or are they going to be a bit more gradual? If they're going to be lightning strikes and be some of those transformative Rikishi we kind of hope they are, then they've really got to get started working their way up pretty fast. I'm more worried about Kinbozan as he just turned 25 and does not have that many prime years left. Atami Fuji is at Juryo 6, and if he gets an 11 and 4, I think chances are really good he gets promoted. Why? Because we had 2 Juryo 6s who both won 11 and 4 in last tournament, and they both got promoted. So let's go, Atami Fuji. Get that Kachikoshi. And that leads me to my next bold prediction. My bold prediction, Kinbozan will win his second Makushita Yusho. Things are looking really good for him. I think he's a little old for his division. I expect him to be up in Juryo next tournament with another belt. Or, I guess you get a certificate for Makushita. And my bolder prediction, we will have another first-time winner in Juryo, just like we did last time. This is a little bit weird because I think Juryo is mostly filled with a lot of hurt old Makuuchi vets who haven't quite retired yet. But I think this is going to be an up-and-comer who comes up and ups. Now here's a question I occasionally ask. Is this the new normal? And I'd like to ask this question of Meisei and Onosho. 2 young-gish Rikishi, they're in the 26, 27 range right now. Onosho just turned 26 and Meisei's about to turn 27, but they're both right before what you would call peak era physically. But they have not been wrestling their best sumo right now. They've both been coming back from injuries. Onosho for a couple years and then got hurt in the last tournament. Does he have that much cartilage left to spare? And Meisei, again, he also had a fall down the Bansuke, not quite as bad as Onosho, but he worked his way back up to the Sanyaku and now has fallen back down. Guys, is this the new normal, or can we see them bump back into Sanyaku one more time? Alright, you may have noticed I have not made any Ozeki or Yusho picks yet. Well, I got a bold prediction there. My bold prediction is 2 of our Ozeki/Yokozuna will go Kyujo, and I think it's going to be Takakeisho and Terunofuji. Terunofuji has visibly started to slow down in the past few basho. We have seen his sort of kryptonite. It seems to be very active pusher thrusters. If we look at Tamawashi and Daisho and Abi and Takakeisho, they have had very good success against recent Terunofuji. Now, even though he was hurt last tournament and gutting his way through every single match, he ended up winning the tournament. I feel maybe he'll take this one off. He's probably not going to get as much pressure as he would have had he not won the last tournament. And with Takakeisho, I just expect him to go Kyujo because it's the third tournament, and every third tournament he goes Kyujo, so it's his turn. Well, I guess that takes care of everyone except for Mitakeumi. And I'm thinking Mitakeumi Yusho. Yep, I think Mitakeumi gets a 12-3, uses his, I guess, home court advantage. It's Nagano, not Nagoya, but still, it's close enough. His mom's gonna be there, and she'll bring a lot of, like, fun party mom energy, and that's always fun. So yeah, book it. Mitakeumi Yusho. Thank you for joining us here on this episode of the Dohyo. Be sure to join us mid-basho for all of the quick strikes, and be sure to join us afterwards for even more amazing sumo content. If you like this, please like and subscribe. That just means other people on YouTube may get a chance to see it, so do it. It's free. It's awesome. Alright, stay safe, stay strong, stay healthy, and I will see you next time on the Dohyo.